low, 2000, baby. Eden Palms, Monterey Road, I'm a project, baby. Eagles Drive, we was at Oak Grove, barely graduated. We got Tasha, Molly, Bodie, Corbett, they gon' have to hate us.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the New Media Podcast. I'm your host, Ya. We hope you enjoyed the last episode because, as always, today's going to be an even better episode. I got the whole crew with me today. Everybody's in the house, but today is a very special day because we got our very first special guest on the New Media Podcast. I'm going to let him introduce himself right now. So the floor is yours.
We in the building. Niner ganger, don't bang. What's going on? It's been a minute, guys. I'm glad to be here. Appreciate you guys for the invite. You know, fresh off a dub. Unfortunately, you know, what happened to my quarterback is unfortunate, but I got good old reliable back. That's my 2004 Toyota Camry. Sorry.
Jimmy
but we
G,
here
man.
though. We here
Jimmy
though.
G don't fail you.
Yeah,
I'm here to give y'all good energy.
It's gonna break down later on in the season though, but yeah.
I got 300K mileage on it, bro.
Hey man, shout out to the Seahawks for giving us that win. So I get where the animosity is coming from, but it's good though. We in the building tonight.
It's all good.
Hey, we're in the building, man. We have the one and only Zach in the house today. So the topics we'll be going over today, we'll be giving our week 3 predictions. Week 3 is right around the corner. And then we'll go ahead and rank the Western Conference duos for the NBA. But as always, before we jump into our topics, a temperature check is needed. So how's everybody doing today, fellas?
Let's get it. I think everybody in here, 1-1? Like I said,
1-1, man.
we're going into week 3.
Week 3, let's get it.
Now, some guys are going 1-2. They know themselves.
Yeah, Minnesota for sure.
I know, Seattle fan not talking.
Seattle.
Seattle sniffed their last win early, man. It's over.
Hey, Aaron Rodgers playing his dad this week, bro. So just relax. You know what
Who's
happens.
his dad?
Tom Brady. You know when he sees
Bro,
Tom.
come on, bro. Be respectful here, man.
Nah, I ain't gonna.
Be respectful here.
We know what happens when he sees Tom
It's
Brady.
all good. Now Tom Brady doesn't have his wide receivers. We're good. We're even now. We're on the same playing field.
We
We're
gonna
good.
see what happens.
Man, you know Tom Brady make it work with anybody. But
Scott Miller.
we'll go ahead and kick off. It's only right that we start with the very first game that's going to kick off week 3, and that's the Steelers on the road in Cleveland playing the Cleveland Browns.
I know. I have the Browns winning this. The Steelers offensively, they haven't shown me nothing. Like Mitch Trubisky as your quarterback, they did a little interview with Deontay Johnson where after he scored that touchdown, they asked him like, "Yo, like you showed some frustration." He was just like, "Yeah, like the design play, it got to me, but it felt like the quarterback, he had a lot to think about. Just felt like it was a shot towards Mitch Trubisky, and the Steelers haven't shown me anything offensively. So I'm going with the Browns in their run game. I think that Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, that 1-2 punch, that's going to get the job done for them.
Let me add on top of that. I need Mitch Trubisky to be benched. And I'll tell you guys why. Bro, I got Najee Harris, and I've been suffering. I can't do with this Mitch Trubisky. I don't know what under the table deal they got with this guy. Bro, please, I'm praying for the Browns to walk him down and give him a proper beatdown so this guy can get benched. I need Kenny Pickett. I need him to build a rapport with the young wide receiver, Deontay Johnson. I need him to bring Najee back to life. I got a lot invested in this game, but overall, though, I think the Browns are going to win it because they got a little sour taste in their mouth from what happened last week, how they let that slip away. But I'm very happy that the Jets beat them out of all teams because Robert Salah is one of ours. So on this one, I'm going to have to definitely take the Browns, and I'm going to take them by a huge landslide. This Steelers team has absolutely nothing going for it. The brains of the team, which is supposed to be Mitch Trubisky, is horrendous. I think Mike Tomlin this week will make that executive decision. And just like how Ryan Tannehill got sat down and got the padding, I think Mitch Trubisky's next. But I got the Browns here.
I got the Browns winning as well. I don't think it's going to be by crazy landslide due to the fact that they gave up a big lead last week with a minute left. They gave up their composure. They gave up everything. They lost the game to the Jets with a minute and 22 seconds left. But I do believe their offense is much better than the Steelers' offense, man, because Trubisky's not it. They're not opening up anything. They're not using the receivers. They're not using the run game. It's a lot of stuff going on. I feel like the offensive coordinator is not letting Trubisky open up the game a little bit. He doesn't want to throw the ball deep. He's not letting the ball loose. So I'm riding with Nick Chubb in the offense, and we'll see what happens. And I feel like the Steelers' defense slowed down a little bit, even with T.J. Watt missing on their team. They weren't getting to the quarterback as much as they were week 1. So I feel like, the Browns online, they're going to do their job. Chubb's going to have a good day. Kareem Hunt's going to have a good day. And Brissett's going to game manage the game.
Yeah, I think you guys all hit it right on the head. I have the Cleveland Browns winning this one. I mean, losing last week hurt for sure. And the Steelers, of course, I just don't know what they're doing right now. And I think they need to bench Mr. Trubisky as well. So I got the Browns winning this one. The next game we have is the Houston Texans on the road in Chicago. I'm sorry, playing the Chicago Bears.
Well,
Snooze
I'm
fest.
telling you, I'm not watching this game.
Smelly,
yeah.
smelly.
Yeah, I'll tell you this right now. I am not watching this game, but I have the Houston Texans winning this. I think the Bears like passing offense. Justin Fields, the week one, he did show some promising signs, but again, that was a monsoon game. It was just whoever can literally hand off the ball the best. Nobody was airing it out. And overall, I think against us this last week, the Bears and the Packers, they had no passing game. It was just literally David Montgomery on the ground. So I think
70
Davis
yards
Mills,
passing for them.
yeah.
That was
They
nasty.
they have no passing game whatsoever. Darnell Mooney has not been able to get the ball. I just think overall the Texans have a better passing game. I like what I see out of Davis Mills, and they probably get the job done.
I think I would have to that on this game. I'm gonna have to go against you on that one. I think as much as the Bears aren't playing too well, I think there's a light at the end of the tunnel, especially with their run game. The only issue, one thing I just don't understand with this Bears team is how have they not unlocked Justin Fields' throwing ability? I just don't understand the coaching.
They got
What
one of the worst lines in the game, man. Come on.
I don't.
It's tough to
Well,
unlock. Yeah.
well, then the question if everyone knows that their O line is bottom tier, then why in the draft did they go for a corner and a defensive end? Like I don't understand. I don't know what this coaching staff.
Horrible management.
I don't get it, but I still think that they will be able to push their way through on the backs of David Montgomery. This guy is surprising me a lot. For years, I've been calling him a busted fridge, but hey, man,
I ain't gonna lie, your boy in Pittsburgh is looking more like the busted fridge. I'll be honest here.
No, he's reserving himself. He knows that Mitch Trubisky's days are numbered. Why give all out? He's still doing.
You can't say that. You can't say that. There was a couple plays last.
I ain't gonna lie. Najee was like, I get his O line ain't that good.
He was missing the holes.
Listen, the running back lifespan in the NFL is the shortest. Why give a certain time of your span to Mitch Trubisky? It's logical. Like why?
Well, what you mean? It's like you have an open hole, but you go to the defenders. You're talking
no,
about
but he doesn't. He doesn't want to give any like vitals to this team. He just wants Trubisky to be moved on.
I don't.
But that's what it is. But honestly, I think David Montgomery.
I feel like that's selfish of him if he's doing that.
I respect that. I mean, running backs only last 5 years, so get your money and keep it moving.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though,
on
the back of David Montgomery, and maybe if Justin Fields can show us a little bit of his arm strength, I think they can do it. I'm not sure about this Darnell Mooney kid. People have so much
1K yards last season. So
I mean, people rank him so highly. I haven't been watching the Bears to be honest, but hopefully I can finally see it. But on this one, I have the Bears winning, and it's definitely a snooze fest, a smelly game, the lowest viewership this upcoming Sunday.
Yeah, I'm picking Houston. The Bears, like I said, their defense is not good. Their offense is not good. Their O-line is horrible. The coaching staff is horrible. Justin Fields last week, 70 yards is not what you expect from a quarterback. 70 yards passing in the whole game. That's crazy. So I'm rocking with David Mills. Last week they got Damon Pierce involved in the run game more. They barely lost to the Broncos. Week 1 they tied with the Colts. They put up a good amount of points as well. But I feel like this is the week they come out with the W. It's an easy matchup for them, in a weak division for them. So it's a good one for them if they steal it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Texans on this one. The Bears, they just haven't been able to utilize their weapons like Darnell Mooney and Cole Kmet. I mean, their run game last week was good with David Montgomery, but I mean, Justin Fields has to, at some point, you got to throw the ball to win the game, and they just can't do that right now. And I feel like this week, Brandon Cooks will go off. He's been awfully quiet this year. I mean, he's gotten his targets and his catches and maybe a little less than like 60 yards, but I feel like this week he's going to take the top off for the Chicago Bears, and I wouldn't be surprised if he had if he went over 100 yards and a couple of touchdowns, because I mean, the Bears defense is nothing crazy, and Davis Mills, he can air the ball out. So I have the Texans winning this one. The next game we have is the Las Vegas Raiders on the road playing the Tennessee Titans.
I can't lie, like Tannehill, man, he gave a nice solid 2 years. Like he did his work, handing the ball off to Derrick Henry, game managing. Like Tannehill did his job, but his time is up for him. Like we saw the game against the Bills, he looked horrendous. And I think the Raiders are extra motivated. They know they're down. They're 0-2 right now. You have Devontae Adams. You're supposed to have one of the best offenses in the league, and you're looking downright terrible. So I think this might be a matchup that they're looking forward to getting on page. But again, I haven't seen anything from the Raiders to show me like they're gonna let you take the top off against this team. I think it's not gonna be a high scoring affair, but I think the Raiders end up winning this. And again, Derrick Henry, he has no O-line right now. It's looking tough. Tannehill can't pass the ball, so I'm just gonna go with the Raiders here.
This also is one of those coin flip games, in my opinion, because something about this Derek. You guys are talking about Ryan Tannehill. I think it's time that Derek Carr gets questioned. This guy, week 1, he gives all the targets to Devontae Adams and wins. Right? You would
Well,
think he would.
well, they lost.
Actually.
He lost that week. He lost.
Oh, they lost. Okay, he comes back, right, and he thinks it's a good idea to give all the targets to other wide receivers in the core, and he still loses. Like, I don't know. This game is going to be weird. It depends on what the Titans do, honestly. If they give Ryan Tannehill one more chance, like one more hoorah, I think the Titans can sneak one past them. But if the Raiders come focused, which is very, very rare, if they do come focused, I think the Raiders can win this. Like, if they focus, when I mean focus, I mean get the ball to your best player, right? Control the game script, control the time of possession, and just don't do silly penalties. I think they can win it, but it's the Raiders, bro. We don't know what we get every weekend.
So who do you have winning this? The Raiders?
Yeah, who you got picking?
Dude, this is gonna be tough. I think Ryan Tannehill's done in Tennessee, man. So I'm gonna have to go Derek Carr on a bounce back game.
But I can't lie though. The Titans' defense is not that bad. They're actually their front.
That's the thing.
Yeah, and the Raiders' O line is terrible.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I think the Titans defense is horrible. I don't know if you're saying that.
No, it's Josh against Josh Allen. He's gonna make anyone look silly.
They still let what 23 points against the Giants too.
Yeah, but you going against Josh Allen to Derek Carr, so I think you're good.
It's a crazy drop off.
It is a crazy drop off, but Tannehill is one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. That guy is just plain horrible.
No, I wouldn't say that.
He's one of the worst quarterbacks in the league.
And actually, Ryan Tannehill's a middle of the pack quarterback. He's he's down there. He's like a top 17, top 18, whatever you want to put him. He's in the middle. He's not. He to me, he's an average quarter. If anything, he's closer to Derek Carr than he is like the bottom of the league, honestly.
Yeah,
closer to Derek Carr, but Derek Carr's a better quarterback though.
Yeah. Derek Carr's a better quarterback.
It's not really saying much though, right?
It's not really saying much though, but their O-line's pretty trash. Derrick Henry's not. Last game, I think it was 16 carries for 25 yards. They're not pushing anything. First week, he had 80 yards first week on 23 carries as well. So it's tough for them. They're not pushing through the offense. They don't got receiver options, and then the defense being on the field a lot, and he's gonna tire them out a lot. So they're gonna get points put on them. I believe the Raiders bounce back this week. They're supposed to have 2 Ws. Last week they choked. The week before, I felt like they gave the Chargers the game with Derek Carr having 4 turnovers in that game. So I believe the Raiders have a bounce back week. Devontae comes and shows up, and we'll see the offense go to work.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take the Raiders on this one. I just feel like what happened last week just won't happen again against the Titans, especially these two teams are both 0-2, but it's like 2 completely different stories. The Titans, they've just been getting dominated, and the Raiders, they've been in close affairs. I think this week Devontae will be more involved. I think Hunter Renfrow is dealing with the concussion, so he might not play this week. So that just means more targets and more opportunities for guys like Darren Waller and Devontae Adams. I think they might get that run game going a little bit, leaning on Josh Jacobs, trying to switch the offense a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's just going to come down to, who has a better offense in this game. And I feel like the Raiders just have a better offense. It's pretty clear. So
before we jump off the topic, though, can we talk about Darren Waller's performance last weekend?
He did good.
Yeah, dude. For a guy who didn't do no training camp, I was impressed, man. That's straight off the sofa. That guy was hooping.
He's an elite tight end, though. So.
They need to get – that's a guy right after Devontae Adams.
It has to be because last week, what was it? I forgot that guy's name they're targeting.
Yeah, I know you're talking about something like
Mac Hollins. Yeah, there we go. Mac Hollins. He had like 11 or 12 targets last week. That's crazy.
Come on, you cannot have more targets than Devontae Adams. That's crazy.
He's a third.
Did he get paid? Did Darren Waller get paid?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got an extension this offseason. I'm not too sure. Let's check that out.
Yeah.
I think Darren Waller is a hell of a tight end. They should get him. He should be second on the list in terms of their weapons. Devontae and then him, then Hunter Renfrow.
But I feel like Josh McDaniels would have came in and involved the run game more these first 2 weeks, but he hasn't. So it looked like in the preseason they're running the ball a lot, but now that Josh Jacobs is not getting that much carries.
Yeah. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and move on to the very next game. The Kansas City Chiefs are on the road this week. They're playing the Indianapolis Colts.
This is straightforward Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, the Colts, like, they should be up there as the biggest disappointments this season. Like, we came into the season saying, yo, they have Matt Ryan now instead of Carson Wentz. They already had an elite offensive line. They have Jonathan Taylor. They have a solid defense. They're gonna breeze through their division, finish 10-7 or 11-6. That's what the projections was. And now look at them. 0-2. No, they tied the first game and then they lost this last game. Got dominated by the Jaguars. I have no reason to pick them. I'm not thinking this. Mahomes wins this by far. It's not close.
Dude, I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
If you look at it from afar, doesn't it look like Matt Ryan tried to pull off a Tom Brady? You know, like, I'm a rejuvenate a team who's been in the bottom of the barrel for a little bit. Dude, that guy.
I thought he'd be better than how he looks now. Like,
dude, I really thought that he would be able to take him, to the playoff, and I don't see him going.
All of his throws are off.
No, trust me. Everybody in here thought Matt Ryan was gonna do something with this team.
Yeah, dude, that's why Michael Pittman went so high in fantasy drafts this year, just because he actually has a quarterback.
He had a great week one though.
Yeah. Week one, dude, I'm another owner of that guy. Very good performance. Last week I struggled, but Matt Ryan, I don't know. It just feels like it's a knockoff of what Brady did with the Buccaneers. It's not going well, but we already know what's going to happen this game. It's just literally, I wouldn't be shocked if Patrick Mahomes is benched in the fourth quarter just to get rest, because this is horrible. Jacksonville, you see what they did in the Colts. It's just going to be the same thing. These guys got away with a tie in Houston. That's outrageous. But I'm just curious, though. Does anybody know what the money line is on that game?
Lord knows.
Dude, I'm just really curious what Vegas has the money line at.
It's Kansas City -5.5.
Whoa.
Kansas City, I think Mahomes put 5 touchdowns on them. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Mine is only 5.5?
5.5. That's easy money, but
the thing is,
I do need some money.
Vegas, man, they know something that we don't, because I feel like that's a little too low.
Yeah, but overall, my prediction on this one is Patrick Mahomes, easy landslide.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes, easy landslide. I feel like he's gonna put up 5 touchdowns on them. Slaughter fest. It's gonna be done by the end of the third quarter, and that's it. Colts got big problems to worry about, man. Matt Ryan's not that person.
I mean, how are the Chiefs anyways against the run though? I feel like they're gonna make it up. The Colts are gonna make it a point to get Jonathan Taylor the ball. Like, he barely had any carries last game. I think 9 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna, for week 1 he had I think almost 31 touches.
But I feel
I think they're gonna make it a point to get Jonathan Taylor the ball, but the game gets out of hand.
I feel like the Chiefs are gonna come out and stack the box. I feel like Chiefs are gonna come stack the box, force him to pass the ball, force Matt Ryan into positions that he's not gonna, make those throws.
Because that line is a bit interesting.
That line's been getting cut.
No, the little 5.5 is kind of
5.5 is crazy. But Pittman's back. Taylor's, he gets his touches. Maybe something happens, but I don't expect that. The defense is not looking too good either. So
yeah, their defense is horrendous.
Yeah, so I expect Mahomes to come out and just have fun.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are going to win this one for sure. I think Jonathan Taylor would do well for himself this week. Pittman he'll do his he'll put up numbers himself. Just won't be enough to beat this Patrick Mahomes guy. So won't say too much there. Got the Chiefs. The next game we have is the Buffalo Bills playing the Miami Dolphins on the road for Buffalo.
All right, man. The cute Tua story. I'm sorry, but it ends here. I get it. It's like he's 2-0. He had a little performance against Baltimore, but come on, man. This is Josh Allen. This is where that little cute run ends. I think the Dolphins get humbled right here. They're playing a real defense, right? And they're playing a banged up Baltimore Ravens secondary full of rookies and guys coming back from injury. So I have Josh Allen win this.
No, but give him his flowers, though, man.
No,
give him his flowers.
I'm not giving his flowers, bro. I'm like, let's calm down with the Tua hype. It ends right here. Josh Allen's gonna take care of business right here.
No, there's no question about that. But you know where I stand with Tua. This guy's days are numbered in my eyes. But you have to give the guy his flowers. What he did last week against your boy Lamar.
I'll give him that.
He was performing surgery though, man. Come on, 4th and 7.
I don't know about surgery because guys was wide open, but yeah.
That pass to that tight end Gasecki. That's his name, right? Gasecki,
yeah.
Cocaine Gasecki.
Yeah.
That wasn't. He didn't thread the needle with that.
What about the Tyreek Hill? Guy was wide open twice.
No, but that's Tyreek Hill though. Any defensive, any DB on Tyreek Hill is gonna get burnt.
One-on-one, Tyreek Hill, no safety help, and the guy just lets him run by him. Come on. But I got Josh Allen winning this. I think they take care of business. It's not. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be a blowout or anything because obviously you have a team with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, so that's a big thing. And the Bills don't blitz often, so Tua might have time. But I think Josh Allen wins this game. I have him winning.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Buffalo Bills are going to win it. I agree with you. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, just because the Bills aren't going to really go out and try to like prove a point. They're already 2-0, so I think they're going to ease up a little bit. Stephon Diggs is not going to have the week that he had this past week. I'll tell you guys that for sure. But the Bills are definitely going to win this. The Tua train is going to come to a little halt, but hey, the kid surprised me. He got potential.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I got the Bills winning this game. Yeah, I feel like Tua's magic's gonna slow down against the Bills defense. He got Von Miller coming rushing. They got 2 All-Pro safeties, so it's gonna be tough for him. It's gonna be tough for him. They're gonna sit in zone all day, and it's gonna be a long night for Tua. A long night. So I got the Bills winning.
Yeah, I got the Buffalo Bills winning this one. I think the Josh Allen MVP campaign keeps on rolling on. It'll be a good game. I think this won't be a tough watch. Just 2 good offenses. Josh Allen, he made a statement in week 1, and he carried it over on Monday night primetime at home in week 2. I just think that MVP campaign is just going to keep on going, and he's not going to stop this year. So I got him going 3-0 this week, and so my pick is the Buffalo Bills. Then the very next game we have is the Detroit Lions on the road in Minnesota playing my team, the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay,
let me start off with this.
Yeah,
one.
go ahead.
Let me start off with this one. Detroit Lions. You said Detroit Lions at Minnesota in Minnesota. That has Detroit written all over it because I don't know. Potentially, Kirk Cousins bounce back game. Kirk Cousins
playing at 1 o'clock, so he should be.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins at 1 o'clock is money in the bank. So I'm gonna be the one to take the Detroit Lions only because I had Detroit Lions coming second in that division. Detroit Lions are gonna win it. It's gonna be a nail biter, field goal. But I just feel like that defense of the Detroit Lions can some way figure out not stop but contain either Dalvin Cook or Justin Jefferson, whoever goes off first, based on Kevin O'Connell's mood. But I got the Detroit Lions winning this one by 3.
I can't lie. Like the Lions are, but they're not an easy team. Like
I'm on St. Brown, bro.
Before when you used to see the Lions on a schedule,
they got pieces.
You used to like lick your chops. Now it's just like, God, I gotta play this teams. I have Minnesota winning this, but it's gonna be like you said, a close affair. I think just simply the fact that the Lions have playmakers, they're gonna be able to stay in this game. There's no question about that. But I think Dalvin Cook kind of goes off this game. They're going to go back to at least getting him involved a lot more. They're going to realize we have a top 5 running back in our backfield. So we got to get him the ball more. And obviously Justin Jefferson is going to be Justin Jefferson, but they're going to realize that they have a running back. And I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't be surprised if Adam Thielen is involved more this game. First 2 weeks, it's kind of been just there and the offense hasn't really been involved. So I think he gets a piece of the pie, but I have the Minnesota Vikings win this game.
Yeah, I got the Vikings winning, but I don't think it's going to be by much. I feel like it's going to be a dogfight, another one of those division games that's going to go down to the wire. But yeah, I feel like the Vikings are going to involve Cook more, involve Thielen more. I feel like JJ is going to have another phenomenal week, but the Lions, they're going to come for some blood, man, especially against that Vikings defense. That O-line is dangerous. It's up there with the Eagles, so Vikings got to come prepared. So, but I got the Vikings winning by probably about around 3. I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, you guys already know who I'm going to pick, but I mean, the Detroit Lions, whenever they run into us and whenever we go over there to Detroit and play them, it's always a close game. I just can't see that this year, especially with the way we're moving on offense. I know last week, we started off hot against Green Bay and then the train stopped in Philadelphia, but I think it keeps on going now that we're back home. Kevin O'Connell came out today and said he was trying to get Dalvin Cook more involved in the game. I think that's exactly what he's going to do to start off. And of course, Justin Jefferson, he's going to do his thing. But I understand that the Lions, they have playmakers all around, Amon-Ra St. Brown, DeAndre Swift, and then you have DJ Chark and Hawkinson and whatnot. But I think we need this bounce back game more than anything because what happened on Monday night can't happen again. And we're at home, so we're going to feed off the home crowd. So I wouldn't be surprised if we won this game by, I would say, like maybe 10 points. But the Lions, they'll give us a fight because at the end of the day, they don't go away easy. we saw that in week 1, and then last week they won the game against the Washington Commanders. So I expect it to be nothing less coming in against us. But I think our offense at the end of the day is just going to be better than their offense. And so I have the Vikings winning this one.
I got a quick question before we jump off this. I'm just asking, don't get mad. If Amon St. Brown and the quarterback, what's his name? Jared Goff, brain fart. Jared Goff and Amon St. Brown, if those two duo outplay Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson,
Uncomfortable conversations.
what's your thoughts?
I'm going to have to hit the panic button on my team if that's the case, to be
All
honest.
right.
Yeah, I got.
All right.
Because that can't happen, especially with bringing in Kevin O'Connell with his offensive mind and his system. I mean, there's no excuse for us to not go out there and dominate the game offensively. We should be in games just like how we were last year, but we're supposed to come out victorious on come out on the right side of things. Last year we were just coming up very short. It was very unfortunate. We sometimes we get in field goal range, our kicker would fold on us, and then our defense would fold on us for majority of the games. So this year, the mindset is if we're going to have to go into shootouts, we have the offense, we have the system, and we have the weapons for sure. So if that happens, Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown, they come in and they outplay my quarterback and Justin Jefferson, I'm definitely hitting the panic button come Monday. But I still think that will happen.
All right.
We'll go ahead and move on to the next game. The Baltimore Ravens are on the road in Foxborough playing the New England Patriots.
Lamar, man, he's gonna keep. But Lamar at the end of the season, man, the contract that he's gonna get is gonna be crazy. Watch, man. Last week he made his case. He's playing like an MVP. His defense just gave up on him. This week, I think him versus Mac Jones, that's a mismatch, man. There's no question in my mind Baltimore Ravens are going to win this game. I think Lamar Jackson has an excellent game again, and Mac Jones isn't the type of quarterback to be able to threaten you, and it's not like they have Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill to go up against. They have Nelson Aguilar and Kendrick Bourne and guys like that. So I think the Baltimore Ravens win this game. Yeah, Jacoby Myers, like, come on, man. I think the Baltimore Ravens win this game. They do get a boost in J.K. Dobbins getting back, so that's huge. Their run game has been lacking. The Ravens, they're built on running the ball, so getting him back is huge for that offense. So I have the Ravens winning this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna safely go. Have to go Ravens on this one for sure. I don't think Lamar Jackson has the same individual performance that he put on against the Dolphins for sure, because he's only human. He needs to pace himself. But he will do what it takes to get this win, get them over the hill, and then slide back into 2-1. Yeah,
I got the Ravens winning for sure. So Lamar is gonna have I think he's gonna have another fantastic game. Bill Belichick's one of those coaches that comes into the game to plan against their best players. He's gonna try to take out Lamar out the game, but I feel like Lamar's gonna get his. Mark Andrews is gonna eat. We've seen Bateman in the past 2 weeks have 2 good weeks, so I feel like the offense is gonna be on go. And then Mac Jones, offensive pieces really don't move you that much. So, like Abdi said, Tyreek Hill, Waddle, they're not playing for the Patriots. So, I don't think they're going to worry too much on the defensive side. It's going to be a run focus for the Patriots, and I feel like the Ravens are going to stop that. So, got the Ravens winning comfortably.
Yeah, I got the Ravens winning this one pretty comfortably. Actually, I think Lamar might, put up those same numbers he did last week against the Dolphins. Maybe a little less, maybe one less touchdown, probably a little less rushing yards. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's like Abdi mentioned, it's a mismatch between Mac Jones and Lamar Jackson. It's like, I know the Ravens are coming into this game licking their chops. Lamar's like, okay, we let one slip away against the Dolphins. So he's going to come out there and take over the game from start to finish, not take his foot off the gas in the fourth quarter. I'm not saying that, it was his fault that they lost that last week, but he knows that he can't rely on his defense anymore. And clearly if a team's hot against them and, that defense is not going to do anything to help him. So at the end of the day, it's all on him. So he's going to do whatever it takes to, come out victorious. And I think that's what he'll do. So I have the Ravens winning this one.
Side note, do you guys think the Baltimore Ravens have enough money to pay this guy?
I think they do.
I don't think they do, bro.
I think they do. I think the only issue between Lamar is the guaranteed money. He wants a fully guaranteed contract, like similar to Deshaun Watson. But I think they're giving him somewhere in between the range of 160 to 180. I might be wrong, but he just wants a fully guaranteed contract. So, and they just don't want to pay the fully guaranteed.
I mean, why don't they just slap the 4-year, $200 million fully guaranteed contract and then let him dabble into free agency again? I don't understand. Like,
I think he's asking for like maybe 235. It's the same thing as the same thing that Deshaun Watson got. Maybe like getting paid a little more, like 50 million a year or something like that.
I think it's 250. Maybe.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if they're doing front office math,
it was 130 guaranteed they offered. That's what it was.
That's
They
disrespectful.
Six
kind of
year
they kind of
on a 6 year, right?
They
That was
lowballed him on the
disrespectful.
guaranteed money.
Yeah.
It's
I
what
don't-
that's the
I-
whole center of the issue, the guaranteed money.
But I understand that, but I just don't understand. Like, if this guy keeps performing the way he's performing, and God willing, injury free, dude. I mean, you're only giving
they're
him
only
and his
costing
mother.
themselves. They're only costing
Yeah, you're only
themselves.
giving
Yeah,
him and his mother more tape to run up to 300 million. I just don't understand where they're going with this guy.
It's them for sure. So I don't know why, but
Like Jerry Jones,
They
he's happy that he locked in Dak at that rate. So I don't
Is he
know.
though?
Yeah.
at this point now, I don't think so. Not anymore.
Is he really
Nah.
happy?
Between Dak and Zeke, I think he's more happy with
Yeah, I
Dak.
was just gonna
Yeah,
say that.
okay,
I think
yeah.
he's more happy with locking in Dak more than he is locking in with Zeke. But I mean, Lamar's gonna get paid, one way or another. So either it's the Ravens or somebody else. So the next game we have the Cincinnati Bengals 0-2 playing the New York Jets on the road.
All right, Joe Burrow, man. We talked about him the last episode. He hasn't been playing well. This, in my opinion, is a get right week. There, no question in my mind. The Bengals know that they have to be better. From Joe Burrow to the offensive line to Zach Taylor, everybody on that team knows they have to be better. Even their defense has been a little bit lacking. So, for me, it's going to be a get right week for the Bengals. I think offensively, Joe Burrow is going to have like 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Overall, they're just going to perform way better. I get they haven't shown any signs at being better, but I've seen times at the second half where they look like their former self. So I think overall the play calling and Joe Burrow are going to be way better. So I have the Bengals winning this, and the Jets' little cute comeback against the Browns just doesn't happen this week.
I'm gonna go with the Cincinnati Bengals, but I have to say one thing here. If there's a big red panic button, it's nowhere else besides the Cincinnati Bengals. First of all, you can't come off what you did last year and go 0-2 and stink it up like that. It's just Joe Burrow needs to wake up. He needs to shake out of whatever's going on. He had some surgery, I believe, on his appendix. I don't know if that's still hindering him or if he's still feeling some pain from that, but no excuses, man. It's not a must-win game. They need to win, and they need to blow the Jets out in the first half.
It's a
it must win is for sure. But at the same time, it needs to be a blowout by halftime.
Like in dominating fashion.
Yeah, I need Robert Salah.
They have to come out and show something. Like, yo, hey.
No, they got to put on a fireworks show in the biggest city, New York. They got to put on a fireworks show. I don't know what's going on. They said they fixed the O-line. Okay, doesn't look like it was fixed. I think it was just like a little Band-Aid put on it, but that guy's still eating grass.
He's getting sacked at a bigger rate than it was last year. But I will point out though,
That
Joe
Band-Aid
Burrow.
fell off before
I will
game one.
say this though, Joe Burrow holds onto the ball way longer than we think. I'm gonna just point that out. Joe Burrow holds onto the ball a lot longer.
But I feel like some of the play calls Zach Taylor causes, it kind of
It's very predictable.
It's very
very
predictable, and the plays take a lot longer to to develop.
And Joe Burrow, I'm saying he just holds onto the ball a lot. I think I won't say the entire him being sacked is solely just because of him holding onto the ball, but there is a point there about him holding the ball a lot longer than people think. So him himself, it just begins with Joe Burrow, regardless of the offensive line. We've seen him perform without an offensive line. And if it's even a little bit better than what it was last year, Joe Burrow needs to be himself. That's it.
I need 28. I need 28 by halftime, dude. I need one throwing touchdown by Joe Burrow. I need 2 tugs by Joe Mixon, and the rest I don't care how it comes from, but I need a fireworks show. Otherwise, there's going to be tough questions that are coming down.
I don't believe they're gonna put up 28 in the half. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like they're gonna win the game, but I don't think it's gonna be in another dominating fashion that we expect. So I feel like they're gonna struggle again against the Jets. Jets got a good team defensively. They don't look too bad on the defensive side, but I feel like they're gonna come out. It's gonna be a dogfight. Robert Saleh's gonna fight him, and Burrow's gonna. I feel like he's gonna struggle again this week. So we'll see. But I got the Bengals winning.
Yeah, I have the Bengals winning this one, but like I said in the last episode, I can't go ahead and say they're going to win comfortably just based on the fact that what we've seen in week 1 and week 2, but I'm going with them. And I think Joe Burrow will play better. But I think Joe Mixon will have a big game. After watching watching what Nick Chubb did last week, I think he had 87 yards and 3 touchdowns. I think Mixon, he can get over 100 yards and maybe a touchdown himself. But like Zach said, it's just got to be a fireworks show. Jamar has to take the top off. T. Higgins has to, get in the end zone maybe once or twice. But I wouldn't be surprised if they go up big and they, take their foot off the gas. I think they did that last year and they lost. And I wouldn't be surprised if it happened again. The Jets, they don't go away easily. They're like the Lions, but a little less talented. And Robert Saleh, he has those guys, locked in and ready to go week in and week out, no matter who's out on the field and who's playing quarterback for them. So I have the Bengals winning this one. So they'll probably win, but maybe a touchdown. But just don't be surprised if they go up big and they let that lead slip away and it gets a little closer and they might just win off a field goal. So the next game we have is the Philadelphia Eagles on the road playing the Washington Commanders.
The Eagles, man, they want to make a stamp on this division. I think they want to make it a point that we're the best team in the division. Matter of fact, I think they want to make a point that we're the best team in the NFC. That's how it's looking for them. I think Commanders are just not going to be able to keep up with this team. That offensive line, we saw the performance they put on against the Vikings, man. Absolutely amazing display by Jalen Hurts. I think the Eagles continue this train. You have Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. There's just no way they're going to be able to guard that. And I'm not putting my money on Carson Wentz. So I got the Eagles winning this game. I think Jalen Hurts has another great game. Rushing wise, they have a bunch of running backs that come in and get them yardage, and Jalen Hurts himself with his legs and his ability to pass the ball surprised me. I think although he had a clean pocket against the Vikings, he picked them apart. He did his job. So I think, again, clean pocket this week. He's just going to do what he needs to do.
I think this game is going to be a clash. This is a divisional game. I don't think it's going to be a Philadelphia Eagles riot. I can tell you one thing for sure. They're definitely going to try to wake up the league and let them know, hey, we're here to stay and we're trying to go for the chip. But I'm going to have to go with the Washington Commanders on this one. And the reason being is because Carson Wentz, the Commanders versus the Eagles in DC, divisional game. Players get riled up a little bit more, no matter what their record is. They could be 0-11, but if it's a divisional game, it gets that extra adrenaline gets rushing. And I think the Washington Commanders by a tad bit, at most six,
What do you
get
think?
away.
You think it's a revenge game for Carson Wentz?
It's a revenge game for Carson Wentz. So.
I think Carson Wentz is. I don't need Carson Wentz to do that little Hail Mary stuff. No. Just play normal, bro. let Antonio Gibson and the other guys do their job. But I think the Commanders a tad bit. I don't know why. It's just my gut feeling. Like I said, if I was in Vegas right now, I'd put my money on the Commanders. I'm gonna have to go with the Commanders on this one.
Money on Carson Wentz, bro. You're a crazy guy.
I'm putting my money on a scary Terry bounce back game.
Darius Slay's gonna lock him down. I promise you that. Darius Slay is gonna be all over him.
Eagles are flying high off that win, so I think it's a little cool down session.
They 2-0 for a reason. That offense is going crazy.
Yeah, that's for sure. That boy AJ Brown is a man child. Not gonna play around with.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Bad matchup for anybody on the field. But yeah, I got the Eagles winning as well. You know me, week 3, Carson Wentz. I'm against him again, so he should be 0-3, but he got one away week 1. I feel like he's gonna come out this game. Last 2 weeks he had 4 touchdowns the first week. Second week he had 3. And he has like 8 or 7 touchdowns in total. I feel like he's gonna come out this week, have a bad performance, throw 2 interceptions, about 250 yards and like 1 touchdown. But I got the Eagles winning comfortably. Jalen Hurts is cooking up. I said in our preseason prediction that, hey, I got to see more from him. He's doing a phenomenal passer in the pocket and one of the best rushing quarterbacks in the league, right behind Lamar Jackson. So, and Josh Allen, can't forget him. But got the Eagles winning comfortably.
I know we all said the Eagles had a crazy offseason, but like the way they're putting it all together right now, I think nobody really expected this. Especially what they did to my team last week. Clean pocket for Jalen Hurts all night. We got to him 3 times. Like I said in the last episode, I can't even remember when we got to him. So I think that's just going to continue on this week. I lost a point last week, believing in Carson Wentz, so I'm going against that now. I just think the Eagles are just going to control the game from start to finish. They can beat you in multiple ways. With that clean pocket, Jalen Hurts can pick you apart with his weapons, Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, and Dallas Goedert. And then when he starts, mixing in a little bit of an RPO type of action, it's just hard to stop because you never know what to expect every play. So the Eagles are going to come away with this one pretty comfortably. Carson Wentz, the revenge game is not going to look good for him. Like Big H said, I think he's going to put up those same exact numbers. I was going to say that, took the words out of my mouth. So I have the Eagles winning this one for sure. The next game we have is the New Orleans Saints on the road playing the Carolina Panthers.
Like the Saints offense is scaring me, man. I don't know what's going on. I thought they're going to be better. I had them winning division. Like I thought Jameis was going to show us some. They just haven't been hitting the road like we thought they were going to be. I mean, I don't know. Like this, I don't know. This just feels like one of those weird games, and I'm not gonna say
I'm
Baker.
not picking Baker. I'm not picking
I'm
Baker.
not gonna say Baker Mayfield's gonna win this game,
I'm not picking Baker. I am not picking Baker.
but I have the Panthers winning this, man.
Whoa. You're
But
trusting
you won't
Baker.
mention Baker.
Yeah, I
You're
won't
trusting
mention Baker in
Baker.
there. I'll mention Christian McCaffrey. That's what I'll mention. Christian McCaffrey's there, and if Baker can just somehow get DJ Moore involved, right? If he can get DJ Moore involved, I think the Panthers is gonna win this game. This is gonna be one of those sneaky games where I don't even know what's the status with Alvin Kamara, whether he's playing or not, but I
He
just feel like
practiced today, right?
he might have, yeah. But I just feel like this is one of those weird games that the Panthers is just gonna have a dogfight with the Saints, and I just think the Panthers will win this. Not because of Baker Mayfield.
You think it's a trap game?
Yeah, I think the Saints. I think the Saints actually like they started hitting the panic button after this game because their offense just hasn't looked downright anything close to what we thought they're gonna be. So I'm not putting my money on Baker Mayfield, but I'm putting my money on the Carolina Panthers. So there it is. Panthers.
Did anybody see the Jameis Winston post game interview where the lady asked him about the injury?
Yeah, I saw that.
Bro, if we could have the editor put that in before we start talking about this game, I don't know where to go with this game. To be honest with you, if I could choose not to pick either of these teams, I would just skip it off. Like, I don't know. I can't trust Baker. That guy, I don't know. Like, you put him in any predicament, bro, he can't make anything out of. Can't do anything, bro. So, just for safety and security blanket, if I was to put my money on any team, I would just have to go with the Saints in the case scenario that Alvin Kamara comes back and Michael Thomas is slowly getting into gear. I'm going to have to go with the Saints as a safe bet. Is this in New Orleans or is this in Carolina?
In Carolina.
It doesn't matter for Baker Mayfield. It can be in hell. Yeah. I'm just gonna go with Michael Thomas.
I'm the same way. I'm picking the Saints to win. I'm going with that defense that literally almost shut down Tom Brady last week. They put some clamps on him last week. So I do not expect anything from Baker Mayfield this week, man. I do got CMC. I do have CMC in fantasy, but Baker Mayfield's not that guy. He's not that quarterback. I'm not seeing CMC involved in the pass game whatsoever. I'm frustrated, so it's tough. But got the Saints coming out. Hopefully Jameis Winston, cooks up a little something, involves Michael Thomas, gets Jarvis Landry in the game, gets Olave in the game, and hopefully Kamara comes back healthy. But put him on.
I don't think this guy Baker Mayfield's enjoying the game. When you guys look at the way he throws,
you prepare for.
He throws it like
he's
throwing it like with like the bombs, like he's trying to pierce the ball, like
he's stabbing it like this. But
I'm like,
you prepare for a full week, right? And then you come out, and you think you're gonna cook, but you come out 130 yards passing. Come on,
dude.
That's what
Sam
Baker
Darnold,
Mayfield is.
man.
That is crazy, bro. I need Sam Darnold back.
Just bring up the guy that sees ghosts, man. We got to see Sam Darnold then.
At least you find CMC 10 times.
Yeah.
Dude, he was making CMC look immaculate. Dude, Sam Darnold knows what his job title is.
That's the
Baker Mayfield.
CMC, but you don't have
Baker Mayfield. He thinks he's him, so that's the issue. Like Baker Mayfield has this like idea of what he's supposed to be, but he's not. Like I'm a number 1 draft pick. I'm like this quarterback. Like Sam.
You know what's worse?
Yeah.
You know what's worse? He thinks he's him, and now he's hearing that people are catching on that he's a fraud. So it's like this guy when he's throwing the ball, there's definitely voices going through his ear. Like I don't get it, man. Poor guy.
Is, man.
I'm not putting my money on him. I hope Yahya doesn't put his money on him a third time this week because I don't know. I don't know what's up with him and Baker Mayfield. He's one of those guys that supports him, and Baker sees that.
Like if you're gonna support a quarterback, like let him like be good,
He's like, yeah, Baker sees it. I'm that guy. I got people looking at me. He's not.
I'm one of those guys that are looking at him, but I'm tripling down. No, I'm just playing. I'm going with the New Orleans Saints this week, just because I told you guys in the last episode that I'm not losing any more points on Baker Mayfield. I'm going to support the guy. I'm just going to root for him, from a distance. I'm not going to, cost myself
free of charge.
Yeah, I'm not going to cost myself any points. I'm already down in the score sheet. I just think the Saints are going to come out, especially after losing a very close one to Tom Brady. They'll come out, and I know Jameis Winston a little banged up, but he'll fight through it, and he'll try to get Michael Thomas and Olave more involved. I think him and Olave had a bit of a connection going. He missed him a couple of times, and then he hit Olave in stride one time, but Olave fumbled. So there's a bit of a connection going on there that I'm liking. And him and Michael Thomas, we saw in week 1 and then it carried over to week 2, even though it was a little bit in garbage time. But at the end of the day, those two, they have a good connection. I'm not worried about that. And even if Alvin Kamara doesn't play this game, I think Mark Ingram can come in and maybe do his job, maybe 15 carries, 60 yards, something like that. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to Baker Mayfield. and I just can't trust them. So I mean, they're going to go 0-3 here, and then the Panthers are going to start, having some questions at quarterback, whether or not to go back to somebody that they had last year, but not too much success. But at least Sam Darnold last year, he was getting, his weapons involved. He got DJ Moore involved in the beginning of the year, and then he can provide for Christian McCaffrey a lot more than what Baker Mayfield's doing so far. So I have the Saints winning this one.
Dude, I need just a special guest request, man. I need you guys to put that Jameis Winston post-game interview. It's literally a 3-second clip. Please, man. That guy's hilarious, bro.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the funniest quarterbacks in the league. But I do have to agree with Abdi on this one. This game feels a little bit like a trap game. I mean, the line is at -3 for the New Orleans Saints, but I still think the Saints are good enough to come out and win this game. So I'm going with them. So the very next game we have is the Jacksonville Jaguars on the road playing the Los Angeles Chargers.
I like Trevor Lawrence a lot, but he's just not going to win this game. I think regardless of if Keenan Allen plays or not, Justin Herbert is just going to get the job done. He knows he's in a tough division. Every game counts for them. He's going to come out. I mean, he went toe-to-toe with Mahomes last week. This week is just going to be a mismatch. The Chargers are going to win this fairly easy.
I wouldn't say fairly easy, man. What's the injury update on Herbert?
Oh,
So
I did forget about that, but to be honest, it's Justin Herbert, bro. Like it doesn't matter.
I don't know. His
head coach said that he was progressing ever since last Thursday when he got hurt, so he's day-to-day right now, and
they better give him that.
It looks like he's gonna play, but you never know. But
with like a harness and like they're gonna put all sorts of things and alongside with the horse injection that they're gonna give him, he's gonna be out there. I know that for sure. I just need to figure out to what capacity, but I don't know. I mean, this is also going to be one of those nail biter games. I mean, if this game is going to be predicated on the Chargers defense, can the Chargers defense put like Trevor Lawrence in his place? So if they can do that quickly and effectively, I think that gives Herbert some time to deal with his injury. Dump off Eckler. Here you go. So I think the Chargers can pull it off. But are we ever going to talk about Chargers and closing out games? I mean, at this point, it's starting to become like a pattern.
We did mention Herbert in
okay.
halves. Like
I wasn't tuned in. My bad.
Herbert in second halves, like it's a criticism against him, and it's a valid one in my opinion. Like sometimes he just cannot finish out games. Like
dude, first half they look like Super Bowl contenders.
Yeah, and the second half, the same old story. They slowed down. The first game against the Raiders, first half they again looked like Super Bowl contenders. Second half slowed down like crazy. It's a repeating cycle. So. Who knows? It could happen this game, but I have the Chargers.
I'm gonna blame a lot of that slowdown in the second half on Staley too. Horrible offensive play calls, especially on the third downs. It's 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3.
That forcing to Gerald Everett's hilarious.
And forcing the ball to tight ends. Like you got to get your key players, Eckler involved, Mike Will involved, Keenan when he's back this week. If he's back this week, you got to get him involved early in the game and set the tempo. So I felt like the Chargers come out healthy, even if Herbert's not at 100%. If he comes at least 75 to 80. They win the game, but it's going to be a dogfight, though. Don't sleep on the Jags. They got a good defense, and the offense is pretty solid offense. So I got the Chargers winning, but we'll see.
So somebody sold me on Travis Etienne, man.
Somebody sold me big time. I don't know who.
Oh,
I like it's James Robinson.
It's looking like James Robinson's back.
Luckily, by the grace of God, I have that guy on my bench. Travis Etienne will not start another game for me. Oh my God.
I'm gonna have to go with the Los Angeles Chargers in this one. I think they won't cover the spread, right? They have the Chargers
pretty high.
-7 for the Chargers. I don't think they'll cover that spread. It'll be a close one. I like the Jaguars defense. I mean, they shut out the Colts, but the Colts, of course, they're nothing crazy. They're not looking too good right now. But if Keenan Allen is able to play this game, I feel like Herbert, he'll try to, carry what he does in the very first half to the second half. But if he doesn't, then he's in trouble because, Trevor Lawrence, he's good enough to, win you a game and keep you in the game. But overall, I think the Chargers, they close this one out pretty easily. Maybe by a touch, actually a little less than a touchdown, like 6. They'll cover. They won't cover the spread, but they'll be close to it. But I have the Chargers winning this one.
You guys are watching Christian Kirk? He's earning his paychecks, man.
Oh yeah, he's looking good. He got a big payday this offseason too. Everyone was
remember everyone, like not everyone, the whole world was upset that he messed up the wide receiver market.
He
but
broke the market.
He's showing bounce.
He's earning his money for sure. He's earning his money.
Yeah,
I picked him. I picked him in fantasy too, man. That guy's eating from.
I think I played you last week. I got cooked meat.
Oh yeah, he cooked you up.
Yeah, he had a good week last week. The next game we have the 1:00 games now. Actually, never mind. We started with the 1:00 games. The Chargers
Pretty sure that Jaguars game was the 1:00 game.
Yep. We have another game. The next game is the Los Angeles Rams on the road, in Glendale, Arizona, playing the Arizona Cardinals.
I have the Rams winning this, man. That fluke win that the Cardinals got against the Raiders, that's just not moving me, man. The Raiders have a terrible defense. Derek Carr's their quarterback. Matthew Stafford, again, they had a weird game against the Falcons. They let the Falcons come back in this, but I think this time around the Rams are going to be much better. Kyler Murray just not going to be able to keep up in this game. I'm not going to say it's going to be a blowout because, again, he can make plays with his legs and he's a good thrower of the ball here and there, but again, the Rams, they have Jalen Ramsey's going to be on Marquise Brown, and that's like their number one target. And if he's out the game, he doesn't have weapons to throw to. Their running game, James Conner was hurt. It's just not looking good on like all levels for that team. I get they're 1-1, but they just don't look like a good 1-1 to me. So I have the Rams winning this again. They're going to relentlessly target Cooper Kupp, and hopefully they can start getting Allen Robinson involved a little bit more outside of touchdowns. But I have the Rams winning this.
I feel like I want to throw up talking about these two divisional teams. I hate the Rams. I hate the Cardinals. If it was up to me, the game would either end in a tie or a bomb threat. So between the two, so YouTube doesn't modify you guys' channel, I'm just gonna stick with the tie. I'm not going to pick either of these teams. Can't stand them, can't see them. I don't care about the game. I won't be tuning in, and I hope that it just end in a tie. Just tie. I don't want to do nothing.
I respect that, man. I respect that.
I can't stand those two teams, bro. Can't stand those two teams.
Yeah, I got the Rams winning, man. Like I said, Arizona last week was a fluke win. They got lucky on that comeback. Rams defense, I expect them to box Kyler Murray. James Conner's hurt. They don't really have that. Rondell Moore's what was it? Rondell Moore. Rondell Moore, yeah, he's out as well. So it's gonna be a tough offensive line for Kyler Murray, and the offensive line and its progression. Looking over that offensive line, Aaron Donald in the backfield. There's gonna be a whole lot of stuff happening. So got the Rams winning by a big margin.
Yeah, I'm pissed the Raiders gave this team a win last week. Because they're going 0-3. They would have went 0-3, but now they're just gonna go 1-2. I have the Rams winning this one pretty comfortably, especially after seeing what they did to them in the playoffs last year. I mean, yeah, I know they lost Von Miller, but at the end of the day, they're going to get after Kyler Murray pretty easily, especially with no D-Hop. I know last year they had D-Hop in that game.
Still
didn't look good, right? So I have no reason to believe this game will be close. Vegas got the Rams at -3.5. I think they'll cover that for sure. And then the Rams will come away with this one pretty easily. They took their foot off the gas last week against the Falcons. They know they can't do that, especially after losing week 1. And they know every week. Go ahead.
Nah, go ahead. You can finish. I'll just add
on. I mean, every week. I mean, they know the Rams know they have a target on their back. Being the reigning champs. So I know they're just gonna come out prepared and win this game.
It doesn't sound like you guys are too happy about this. Let's all go with tie, bro. Please. I'm asking you.
If Rams give up another big lead to Kyler Murray, I expect Kyler Murray to come back and win that game. So
I don't care.
If that happens again, man, they let the midget run around that pocket 25 seconds and find a way to win the game. I'm gonna be pissed off. I predicted Arizona 5-12, so should go 0-3, but 1-2 is fine. We'll continue on with that.
Damn, if we thought the Texans and the Bears game was bad, this one's worse. We got the Atlanta Falcons on the road playing the Seattle Seahawks.
You're disrespectful.
That's not bad. That's not bad. It's bad for the Seahawks. That's not bad.
Okay, I'm gonna say this, man. Well, we said it last week. The Geno Smith cute story, like. This guy Big H had Seahawks winning against the Niners. Like this is the craziest bias I've seen. But
another request: have Big H's text message be blasted all over this podcast. Geno Smith looks like Aaron Rodgers. Oh my god!
We want you to like Aaron Rodgers against Wilson for sure.
But yes, week 1, like he had the crowd behind him. He was motivated, cool, whatever. Now, like it's back to reality. But Falcons and Seahawks. I mean. Again, I don't expect this to be a high-scoring affair at all, but I surprisingly have the Falcons winning this simply because I think they're going to get Kyle Pitts the ball this game. I think they're going to make it a point. There's a lot of pressure on the staff to get Kyle Pitts the ball. Like, you drafted him that high, and you're not going to be utilizing.
Even with Arthur Smith coming out saying what he said.
I mean, still though, it's like it's your tight end. Like, you drafted him number 4 for a reason, right? You drafted him that high to do what? To have this guy blocking, to have him just doing cardio? Like, come on, this Kyle Pitts.
I don't know.
I
feel like Arthur Smith got something against Kyle Pitts, but
I like what I see out of Drake London. I think he looked great last week against the Rams. I think he's gonna get involved again. And Cordell Patterson, we know him. He's versatile for them. He's just all over the place. Gets his pass catching, runs, whatnot. And I don't know. This could be a game where Geno Smith has a decent 200 yards and a touchdown and maybe wins a game like that. But I'm gonna go with the Falcons on this one. I think they're gonna get Kyle Pitts the ball. I think he's gonna have a big game.
Quick fact check. Did Arthur Smith draft Kyle Pitts?
pretty sure he was the head coach for the
Pretty
Steelers.
sure he did.
He was?
There last year, yeah.
I don't understand why he's like turning 180 on the guy that he.
But even last year, like he wasn't really targeting him much like that.
Yeah, I think it's just the coach with the issue with the Falcons here is.
Like, I'm saying it's not fantasy football. It's crazy. Like, how do you say?
Yeah, dude, that's like you're coming.
You're head coach and you're thinking about fantasy football.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward. What I see a dynamic here is a very, very skilled player who knows that he's skilled and is not backing away from that. And I see a coach who wants to prove himself and has a huge ego and doesn't want to back down. So I don't know how that clash is going to end. I mean,
but we've seen how the clashes are like that in the past.
I mean, I hope it's Arthur Smith who gets the boot. But forget all that. Your Seahawks, Marcus Mariota. You thought Geno Smith looked like Aaron Rodgers? Marcus Mariota is going to have a field day on this Seahawks team. Slice Swiss cheese on your defense. Come on, bro. Your only win came courtesy of Uncle Roger Goodell and his big paycheck. And Roger Goodell's not cashing in on you guys no more. You guys got it. A little they gave him the big celebration,
Yeah,
the Russell Wilson
they
come
tried
back.
to write me out, but I didn't write back,
I got one final request. I need that photo of Pete Carroll looking at the scoreboard against the Niners last week before the segment when you guys talk about the Seahawks. This team, Pete Carroll is finished. They're not going to win this game. The Atlanta Falcons, they're going to get Kyle Pitts in rotation. They're going to get Cordell Patterson. He's going to get his feet back under him. It has Atlanta written all over. I don't care if it's here, if it's in Atlanta, Seattle. Seattle's not winning another game this year, guys. That's about it.
Hey, can Kyle Shanahan put a Super Bowl on the table?
Nah, you shouldn't be talking about Kyle Shanahan.
No, can Kyle Shanahan put a Super Bowl on the table? If you're going to disrespect Pete Carroll, can you?
Don't worry about Kyle Shanahan, man. Don't worry about Kyle Shanahan.
We know he's a choke artist. So when we see come around,
yeah, I'm rolling in that head, and I haven't paid a single dollar of rent. He's hot. He's hot.
I got Seattle coming out this week winning by.
You don't mean that. You don't mean that.
Atlanta's
man. You don't believe that.
Atlanta's
if you putting money behind that,
Atlanta's a horrible team.
You putting money behind? Are you putting money behind that?
It's a horrible team. It's a trash fight versus trash fight. I'm picking one.
No.
Atlanta's
no. Poop. You guys are poop. Dog poop in the park, outside in 102-degree weather. Dog poop. Smelly. No.
So I'm taking my Seahawks. We riding with Seattle, baby. Don't even trip.
If you're serious about it, we can put a wager. I'm not a Falcons fan either.
This guy's not a Falcons fan, but he wants to put up a wager. Like me,
he's only doing that because you're a Seahawks fan.
That's the only reason.
Only because you're a Seattle Seahawks fan.
Just to take his money and for him to smell the L, man.
It's all good though. When Mahomes comes into town, I'm gonna put some money on the line. Let's see if you.
Come on, we don't do the pom pom for other guys though. Come on, man, don't do that.
I'm not doing the pom pom thing right now.
At least pick somebody in the NFC, man. You're going all the way to another division.
Oh, we pick Tom Brady when he comes into town. Then.
All right, bet. See, I respect that.
Don't be scared.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna have to go with the Falcons on this one. Seattle, they're just not a good team. I know the Falcons are not a good team either, but I think Marcus Mariota, they're just not gonna have an answer for him because he's not gonna do well throwing the ball, but he can run the ball pretty well. So he'll do that. And then of course Cordell Patterson will get more involved. Drake London looked amazing last week against the Rams. And like the Rams, they're a pretty good defense. Jalen Ramsey on that team. But I hope to get Kyle Pitts involved more because I think it's just weird seeing a guy that you take top 4 not being involved in your offense, especially with how talented he is.
It's crazy that he only has 5 targets in 2 games. That's crazy.
I mean, he still has only 1 touchdown, right?
One touchdown.
And it wasn't even on U.S. soil.
Yeah, that
Crazy.
was in London.
Yeah.
One touchdown in his whole career?
One
In his
touchdown.
whole entire,
that was in London.
So far in his entire career.
Bro, I
It's not
need
on
to
US
find
soil.
out. I know Arthur Smith didn't draft him, or if it was under his regime,
He
it was
the
not
head
his
coach,
call.
He was the head coach.
Right, it
He
was,
was
it was
the
under
head
him,
coach
bro.
for sure.
Who's
It was
that?
under
Who's
him.
that? Who's that owner for the Falcons? The famous owner, Arthur. What's his name? The Home Depot owner.
I could place.
I forgot his
put the
name.
face to
forgot
it.
his
I
name.
don't know. That guy made the call, bro. He called from the Home Depot office. Yo, get Kyle Pitts.
Arthur Blank.
Arthur Blank, yeah. That guy.
I feel like it's just due to Mariota. That's it. That's why they're not getting him involved.
I don't know,
Okay.
but
Well,
I don't know, to
we'll
be
see.
honest. I mean, he got Drake London the ball pretty well
But he
last
did
week.
get Drake London the ball the past 2 weeks, actually. So,
Kyle Pitts is
yeah.
basically built like a wide receiver, just taller.
yeah,
So,
I don't know why they're not getting him involved, man.
Him and
He's just-
Darren Waller give me the same vibes a little bit.
He's a crazy talent, man. Like, it's just a surprise to all of us that he's not getting involved more in this offense. But I think Seattle, they're going to struggle heavily, more than they did last week against the Niners. They didn't put up a touchdown against them. Their special teams did.
Oh no, that was murder. That was murder.
Yeah, I
That was
think
murder.
they might put up they'll score a touchdown in their offense this week. Probably I'll give them one. But other than that, I'm not giving anything more to the Seattle Seahawks. This team is terrible.
One touchdown.
Yeah, one touchdown.
Yeah, it's gonna
man.
be like maybe a DK touchdown, you know. Maybe
Yeah.
a D-
Already in fantasy this week, though. So
And be on the lookout for that Tyler Lockett stat padding performance. You know where he gets like 15, 16 fantasy points.
Like he did
just
last
like-
week when he had like 100 yards on you guys.
Yeah, like empty calorie points. It's just like have some shame, man. Like
hey, you know him. First 4.5 weeks, he racks the stats up, and it goes.
Goes after that.
It goes.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna have to pick the Falcons on this one. We have a pretty interesting game. I think this is America's game of the week. The Green Bay Packers are on the road in Tampa playing the Buccaneers. Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady. Another game.
You know,
Aaron Rodgers
you know,
bad.
you know.
Aaron
When I was
Rodgers
thinking
bad
about this,
this time, man.
when I was thinking about this, I was like, "Yo, maybe I should go with Tom Brady on this." But honestly, I'm sticking with the bad man. Listen, like,
Can we be realistic though? Can we be realistic?
no, that's realistic. Well, we're talking like Tom Brady has.
Nah.
Tom Brady doesn't. First off, Tom Brady doesn't have his weapons. Let's
We've
start
seen
with
Tom
that.
Brady. We've seen Tom Brady work with no
I
weapons.
could just say the same thing about Aaron Rodgers. We've
Tom-
seen Aaron
Tom
Rodgers.
Brady
but-
been to the Super Bowl with no weapons.
I don't know about all that, but anyways, we're talking about two teams with no wide receiver currently. They're missing Godwin and Evans. We obviously have Lazard in them. I'm gonna say them because they're not that good, but them, right? And then I think it's just gonna be a battle of who can dump off the ball the best. I mean, you have Aaron Jones on one end and AJ Dillon versus Leonard Fournette on the other side. I get it, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers still have a good defense, but offensively, let's be realistic here. They haven't looked great themselves. We've seen the first week against Dallas, and I get Dallas is a pretty good defense, but they weren't that good. Saints last week, always a dogfight, but come on, like it wasn't until like late in the second half that they really started to put points up. But I'm gonna go with Aaron Rodgers on this. I think that the Green Bay Packers, they're reeling after the last game that they just had. I think they're going to continue the momentum. The run game is going to be something short of what they're going to try to establish. I think Aaron Jones is going to get out in space and try to do what he did last week, and AJ Dillon as well. And I think Alan Lazard might finally get involved a lot more this week. Again, there's not a game where I'm excited for the receiving core on either side, but I'm just go with my gut. I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers.
I'm gonna have to side with Tom Brady on this one for sure. Just a quick note, like Tom Brady, I don't know, like I'm hearing reports that he's going through a divorce. My guy, like each week, have you noticed that each week in the press conference after the game, he's looking more brittle and brittle and brittle. Poor guy, like I don't know. You should have never came back if it was going to cost him his family. That's what I'll tell him. But you know, the passion of the game, it runs deep. But I think honestly, based on the back of so right now, Mike Evans, we're not sure about his appeal. We'll find out either later.
Oh, he lost.
No,
that
he
in
lost
court
the
today.
appeal.
Sadly.
Bro.
He lost the appeal.
Goodell giving out discounts, man. But okay, so no Mike Evans. I'm pretty sure Chris Godwin's still
Yeah,
dealing with that hamstring injury.
Julio and Godwin didn't practice this week either.
Yeah. Well, so if he doesn't have if he doesn't have Julio,
He's coming out
Evans,
with Brashad Perriman and Scotty Miller.
I heard they got Cole Beasley on the practice squad. He might make the 53-man roster before the game.
I think
But,
Cole is better than all the Packers receivers if he does make the roster.
That's
I'm-
hilarious, but okay.
Honestly, I think Tom Brady is going to ride off the back of his defense one more week until he can get like at least 2 out of 3 of his weapons back. Because that defense because the last week Brady had nothing going for him. I mean, Mike Evans throwing fist fights. Tom Brady smashing iPads. You guys should look up that screen. What happened to that screen?
Yeah.
but then his defense, defense rightfully so came through for him. They picked it up. They picked up the intensity, flipped the game. So I think they can do that one more time in Green Bay, and then Tom Brady's going to have to pick it up. And once his hitters come back, he's going to have to start firing on all cylinders. But I'm going to have to go Brady. This is also going to be one of those coin flip games because Aaron Rodgers might want to put on a show as well. But knowing Aaron Rodgers, one or two passes that are not caught by these rookie wide receivers, and his day's done. He's mentally checked out. So
Mentally checked out.
I'm gonna have to go with the quarterback that's more mentally stronger. So I'm gonna have to ride with Tom Brady on this one to go.
Yeah, I'm riding with Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. I feel like this is going to come to a defensive game due to both offenses with horrible receiving core. They have phenomenal running backs, but both defenses are going to pack the box. So I feel like it's going to come down to a defensive game. I feel like Tampa's going to hold it down, and Tom Brady's probably going to get a touchdown. I think they win by three or 6 points. It's not going to be by much, but I do have the Buccaneers coming out.
I went against my GOAT last week. I'm not doing that again this week for sure. I'm going with Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win this one. The one by 10 points for sure. And here's why. Last week we saw David Montgomery run all over the Green Bay Packers. I mean, it led to nothing, right? Because the Bears put up no points. But Leonard Fournette, he's nothing to play with. I know he's dealing with a hamstring injury, but he'll not practice today, tomorrow, and he'll get a practice in on Friday, and he'll be good to go on Sunday. And I think he'll be ready to go. He's going to hit the ground running. He's going to run all over that Green Bay Packers defense. He's going to get his touches, and Brady's going to rely on him heavily. And for his receiving core, I mean, I can't say I trust the Packers receiving core because last week I just said they should hit the panic button based on the fact that, like, what are their expectations with this type of offense? And that offense does not look good. Like, Sammy Watkins had one big play and he only had 3 catches and he finished with like 55 yards. Randall Cobb, one big play. Who is Rodgers going to rely on to win this game for him? You can only give the ball to Aaron Jones so much, right? I feel like at the end of the day, Brady, it doesn't matter who he has lining up for him on the outside. Rashad Perriman is going to be there. I know Cole Beasley will make the cut this week, and then that's basically it, right? Hopefully Julio can suit up, but at this rate, I don't think he's suiting up. But at the end of the day, it's just going to come down to who I trust more at quarterback, and I know, and especially the defense. Let me talk about the defense. That Packers defense, I'm not too sold on them just yet, to be honest. The Bears are not a good team, and we saw what happened week 1 against the Vikings. We literally torched them. I think,
man, that's a fluke, but
it's not necessarily a fluke. Yeah, we'll go ahead and move on from that. Justin Jefferson torched you guys, but that's neither here or there. But Tom Brady,
now they don't have Justin Jefferson. Let's point that out, by the way.
Yeah, I know, but it's Tom Brady. He's gonna slice you up no matter how he does it. Either it's the 5-yard dump off passes to Leonard Fournette or the Cole Beasley or Perriman. It's his, like, the offense. I don't think it'll be great this week, but it'll be good enough to get this win by 10 points. And Leonard Fournette, he's going to have a great game, and that defense is going to frustrate Aaron Rodgers. They'll get to him. I'm not too sure if Bakhtiari is going to play because I don't think he played.
That guy's been
week.
on vacation since the NFC Championship game.
Yeah,
so that guy's starting to become a myth, bro. That guy's starting to become a myth.
I think Matt LaFleur said he has no idea if he's going to play Sunday.
See, like if he's like
at least we have Elton Jenkins. That's the only good thing. He's good.
Yeah,
but Bakhtiari's he's I don't know. I don't know, honestly.
Bakhtiari's an all-pro, man.
Hey, man, he's a no-call, no-show at work, Like,
dude, he's starting to become a myth, man. All I hear is Bakhtiari.
Every time
Matt LaFleur doesn't want to say it. He doesn't know where Bakhtiari is. Forget playing on Sunday. He doesn't know where that guy is.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, I feel like that defense will get to Aaron Rodgers a lot this week. And, I mean, I think after you mentioned Allen Lazard was going to do well this week, I mean, he's got a matchup with Carlton Davis, and I think Carlton Davis, he's pretty good, so it's going to be tough. But at the end of the day, long story short, I got the Buccaneers winning this one. I'm going with my GOAT. And, when we talk about the game next week, Aaron Rodgers is going to be 1-2, so I think a discussion needs to be held there. But we'll go ahead and move on to the very next game. You're going to like this one, Zach. The San Francisco 49ers on prime time on the road playing the Denver Broncos.
Kick us off, Zach. Kick us off.
I'm telling y'all, I'll get this party started. I'm simply going to tell y'all, if you guys got a car note, if you guys got a house payment, if you guys got a college tuition that needs to be paid off, put all your money on the Niners. My boy Jimmy G is back. No disrespect to Trey Lance. That's my future. I can't hate on the boy, but he's just not ready. He's not ready for this big boy league. But you know who's ready? Jimmy G. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all see the team's energy when Jimmy G hopped on the field? Bro, That's no backup, man.
happy.
My boy Kyle Shanahan tried to put him in the gutters, man, telling him, don't practice with us, go to the corner, do your own drills, all this and that. Man, I'll tell you something, bro. Life is crazy. Kyle Shanahan did not envision that Jimmy G would play a majority of his season. Forget majority, it's week 3, right? The whole season, one more time. But, my boy's back, Jimmy G. I'm telling you right now, if you guys are fantasy owners of Brandon Ayuk, if you guys are fantasy owners of George Kittle and my boy Debo, Swiss Army knife, you guys, I'm sorry for what Trey Lance put y'all through, but we're going to come cash money. Russell Wilson, we're going to have him on the floor. Everyone's amped up. I don't know if you guys even heard the reports. There's inside rumors within the 49ers organization, people saying, man, thank God, like Jimmy G's back. Like we're actually going to be something, We're not going to be no trial run with this Trey Lance kid. But right here, right now, I got Jimmy G and my 49ers running all over this Broncos defense, this Broncos team in general. Like, I'm not going to mention one of the homies who gassed me up on the Broncos this year, but bro, I've been sold a false dream. I don't know if it's Russell Wilson. I don't know if it's team chemistry, or I really don't know if it's this coach that came from Abdi's coaching tree, Matt LaFleur. I don't know which one it is, but something is not clicking, and it's not going to click against the 49ers because we don't let teams practice or run drills on us, and we don't allow get back games or none of that. So what happened to the Seahawks? One more time, just to let the country know that the Niners are back, and we go above 500, and I think the Niners in ease, and I think that's a primetime game, so everybody's going to be tuned in. I don't want to hear no excuses. Tune in for the Jimmy G masterclass.
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna agree with you right there. I have the Niners winning this. I think all reliable's back. Jimmy G. There's one thing he knows what to do. He knows how to run the offense for Kyle Shanahan. Regardless if Kyle Shanahan doesn't like him, tells him to stay in the corner, don't practice with us. He knows how to run the offense for them. That's all reliable. It's stable for them. I know they're envisioning Trey Lance taking this offense to another level, but unfortunately he got injured. But Jimmy G, he's one of those guys for this team that just slots right in. It just fits like a glove, right? And I think this Broncos offense, they just have not looked good, and they haven't given me any reason to believe that they'll be better. I get Russell Wilson, he had his moments week 1, but again, overall, this offense last 2 weeks, they just haven't been able to get into the end zone. They just look a lot lethargic. We thought they're going to be a lot more explosive with Judy and Sutton. I know Judy's day to day, but I'm not sure if I don't think he even practiced today. So
yeah,
that's a big
no, he didn't practice.
That's a big miss if he's not able to play this week. You only have Cortland Sutton out there, and already your offense is kind of struggling against a Niners team that gets their quarterback who knows how to run this offense. They're going to go back to their ground and pound game and their defense. So then the Niners going to win this. Jimmy G is going to do what Jimmy G does. He's going to manage the game and hand the ball off to Debo and get Kittle in space. So that's practically it for the Niners. They're going to win.
Yeah, I got the Niners winning as well. I feel like that Broncos offense, if they don't got Judy this week, I feel like the Niners are going to send the house, and the only offensive target they're going to have is Cortland Sutton. So I feel like that pocket is going to collapse. Defense is going to eat. Like I said, all reliable's back. A guy that knows how to run the offense. Get the ball to Debo. Let Debo do his thing. Kittle's going to come back. And then Jeff Wilson, he had a good game last week. I feel like, what was it?
18 for 84.
18 for 84, and he had a couple catches. Niners, they know how to plug and play running backs. They brought off Marlon Mack, another solid running back piece that can catch the ball and run the ball. So Niners comfortably. Nathaniel Hackett, he's on the hot seat. Broncos, panic button. It's time for them to, to have some.
Yeah, but we're going to have to drop that all reliable nickname. I'll let it slide this week, though, but all reliable.
It is all reliable, though.
No, y'all making it look like a screwdriver that got rust on it. No, relax.
No, at the start of the pod, he said 2004 Camry.
Bro, everybody, listen, every NFL team is really upset that they let the Niners keep Jimmy G. Because think about it, no Jimmy G. If Jimmy G went somewhere else, it would have been a wash of my year. But I'm telling you, all reliable. I'll let y'all slide this week. The next time I see y'all,
it is true,
I don't want to hear all reliable.
Were you not yes or no? Were you not excited to have Trey Lance this year?
Yeah, I was excited, but expectations weren't too high though. But now my expectations are back where they belong. I'm gonna see y'all in February. Nothing shorter than that. Last year I was supposed to see y'all in February, but I had a corner who I don't know, forgot how to catch or whatever. And it wasn't Jimmy G's fault again. This whole narrative, Jimmy G is just like a game manager. No, bro. Fourth quarter against your own Green Bay Packers, he performed surgery. Stop playing with him.
No, like,
against the Rams.
I said this. Like Jimmy G, he's gonna do what Jimmy G does. But again, let's stop talking like Jimmy G's like Tom Brady reincarnated. Like, calm down. Like,
Okay, see, you don't have to go all the way to the
Like-
right about Tom Brady, but he's somewhere in between that, that nice little cushion area between.
should I tell you what
8 and
Jimmy
10.
G? Should I tell you what Jimmy G is
Wait,
basically for you
wait.
guys?
You said Jimmy G's a top 10 quarterback?
Oh, yeah, Jimmy G on his day though. Jimmy G.
What does that mean? Like, I can
No,
say
what
anybody.
does
Hey,
Hey,
You got
I
jokes
kid you.
today, man.
No. I kid you guys not. If Kyle Shanahan put his pride to the side, right, and stopped this whole narrative of Jimmy G, I gotta like nerf him, I gotta play design for him, and let the man play his game, bro. Jimmy G could shock the world. Y'all remember what he did against New Orleans? No. There's multiple times where Kyle Shanahan had to allow Jimmy G to be an NFL quarterback, and you've seen what produced. Against the Green Bay Packers, he had to be NFL quarterback. We're down in the fourth quarter. He sliced and diced your defense. That game against the New Orleans Saints. Time out. That game against the New Orleans Saints a few years ago back, dude. He sliced and diced them to win the division. Jimmy G, when given the encouragement and the title, can be one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
You're going too far with the Jimmy G gas. Should I tell you what Jimmy G is for you guys? He's basically almost a slightly worse version of what Ryan Tannehill was those 2 years for the Titans. That's literally
You're disrespectful. Oh my god!
His job is to protect the ball.
Are you serious right now?
Yes. What? You're talking like Jimmy G's Tom Brady, bro. Calm down. Like, like he's gonna take the
So
top
time
off.
out. So if Jimmy G, time out. If Jimmy G's
quarterback
equivalent,
more than you.
No. What Kyle Shanahan is doing is he's instilling his system. It's my way or the highway, and I respect that. He's proven us time after time. I agree.
I got one big question for you, right? What was the what was the idea behind Trey Lance coming into this offense? What was the vision for the Niners fans? What were they looking at?
I'll tell you, the reason why we got Trey Lance was because the NFL has migrated and moved over to mobile quarterbacks. That we all agree, right?
Yes.
We don't. I'll tell you one thing. My boy Jimmy G, I can beat him in a race. No questions about that. And Kyle Shanahan, he's a very proactive, not reactive, proactive coach. He sees the trajectory of the NFL and knows that this style of quarterback is going to be dwindled out. Jimmy G, Kirk Cousins, and the list goes on. So he needs a dynamic quarterback that's not Lamar Jackson, but at least in the same caliber as Lamar when it comes to foot speed or being able to make a quick decision on, hey, I can go get the 5 yards, third down, or I can go get that 2 yards, that Jimmy G can't provide. So,
but you guys already had a ground and pound type of offense, right? I get it. The NFL switching over to mobile quarterbacks, but at the same time, the idea for Trey Lance was to take this offense to another level.
But look at a pure example of the Philadelphia Eagles. Their quarterback is a dual threat quarterback, and now they have implemented the run game, which they're doing very well. That was the vision that Kyle Shanahan had.
But he said Jalen Hurts can pass, though. That's the thing, though. Like, he can get the guy, he can get the
Trey Lance can pass.
Yes, that's the whole point. But you think Trey Lance is a better passer than Jimmy G would have been for this?
Not right now.
I don't see, but I don't see Jimmy G like how you see Jimmy G. I'll be honest.
I mean, I can agree with Fish on that because we haven't really seen Trey Lance play in the NFL, right? He's played a few games his rookie year and then only one in a quarter this year. So I can see where Fish is coming from.
But you have to understand one thing though. The Jimmy G narrative of this guy, everyone views Jimmy G as just a placeholder. Like he's a very good, run the script, handoff, 5-yard dump, handoff. No, bro, Jimmy G's a lot more.
6 yards. Let Deebo Samuel take it 40 yards for himself.
You're falling for the Kyle Shanahan bait. You're falling for the bait.
This is your coach. What are you talking about? The bait?
I know.
He knows his quarterback's limit.
That's why me and Kyle Shanahan
limitations more than you.
No.
He worked with Matt Ryan. He cooked up with Matt Ryan.
He knows his
quarterback's way better passing quarterback.
He knows his limitations.
Kyle Shanahan's my dog, but sometimes I get very frustrated with him because he's feeling like he has to baby Jimmy G. Bro,
Bill Belichick did the same way though.
I don't care about Bill Belichick. That's not my business.
He did the same way Kyle Shanahan did it, just like Kyle Shanahan's doing it right now. It's no difference. He babied him back then. It's the same way. No difference. You can't trust a quarterback like that.
But if you start that argument, then what about Bill Belichick babying Tom Brady?
He never babied Tom Brady. He could
let's not open a can of worms.
When did he baby Tom Brady?
Let's not open a can of worms.
He is babying Mac Jones. That's your boy.
He's babying Mac Jones. Yeah, you see that too.
You guys think it's babying.
But Zach, you got the Niners winning this one, right?
I think everybody
stomp the yard, man. Right? Gridiron gang, man. We coming out. We going above 500. We bouncing back. I didn't want to come on the pod after a win of the Seahawks because that doesn't have no dollar value. But if we get one more win, I'll come back. I'm gonna come back with my Debo jersey, man. I gotta rip my chain.
I said Jimmy G's a top 10 quarterback, but hey, we keep it
on his day.
On his day.
Hilarious.
You know what's hilarious?
It's probably been like once in the past 2.5 years.
We have a guy who witnessed Jimmy G on his day against the Packers in the fourth quarter. Can you answer that though, just for the fans?
Why are you talking like Jimmy G had 300 yards and 2 touchdowns?
No.
Calm down.
No, see. There you go, blowing it there. Tell me about that. I asked you about that fourth quarter Jimmy G versus Aaron Rodgers performance side by side.
What I'm talking about the game. How was Jimmy G?
Oh, there you go. There you go.
The game's not played in the fourth quarter. I even
my guy is cash money in the fourth, where the real dogs come out.
No, tell me why overall in the game Jimmy G can't perform like that.
Jimmy G, I don't know if y'all know, Jimmy G is a kickback guy. You know, in the offseason, the wide receivers can't even get a hold of my guy. My guy be kicked back. He's chilling. Fourth quarter though. Cash money, all my money on Jimmy G, man. Unfortunately, it cost me one time against the Chiefs, but I don't want to remember that.
But for me, I don't know if I want to be different on this one.
Don't force it.
You know, you think
big bro, you want it to be different with the Baker take. Don't do this.
Yeah, but I feel like Russell Wilson.
Hey, preseason predictions though. You're the one that called it. You said the Broncos are gonna struggle.
I did, and I've been proven right so far these first couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just gonna have to go with the Niners on this one because I know Abdi will lose a point for the Green Bay pick, so I just don't want to lose a point with him. And so I have the Niners winning this one. I feel like they'll get after Russell Wilson a lot. I think Pat Surtain got hurt last week against the Texans, so he's dealing with an injury as well. So I think the Niners offense, obviously with Jimmy G, they're going right back to what they did last year and the years before that, just running the ball and then having him, game manage his way through. I think that if there's one thing that Jimmy G knows how to do, he knows how to win games for you. Maybe not in the biggest.
I don't get it. You guys say all these good things about Jimmy G, how he's a good game manager, how he can read the defense, how he can throw the ball, how the players cave towards him. He's a very good team leader. That locker room love for him is. I don't know which other quarterback has that love, man. So then why are you guys not putting him in top 10?
Okay. Hey, there's just 10 more talented quarterbacks than Jimmy Garoppolo. That's about it.
I have a simple question. Is Dak ahead of him?
Yeah, Dak's a better quarterback.
Of course, Dak's a better quarterback than Jimmy G, man.
Hey, no. Hey, Zach, can I ask you one question?
I swear you wanted Dak.
No, Zach. Hey, you wanted Dak, but let's go back to the Chiefs Super Bowl. If y'all had Dak in that fourth quarter, you think you win that game?
I don't think Dak is ready for that bright lights, man. Dak can't even stay healthy no more, bro. Like, you guys are talking about I wanted Dak. That was 2 years ago, bro. We were in a whole pandemic, bro. Like, come on now. Let's be real. We went through a whole pandemic when I wanted Dak.
I mean, that Super Bowl loss against the Chiefs was more, for me personally, it was more on Kyle Shanahan than it was on Jimmy Garoppolo not making that 130, man.
Forget that Super Bowl loss. That Rams loss last year in LA hurt way more than that Chiefs loss, bro. Jimmy G did everything right. That was cash money in the bag. I don't know, bro. But Jimmy G's top 10 quarterback on his day, bro. I'm telling you guys.
On his day.
Yeah, on his day, man. That's the word. That's what we're saying today. But I got the Niners winning this one. I think Russell Wilson, he'll do good, but at the end of the day, they'll fall to 1 and 2, and they might have to hit the panic button there because it's not looking good from week to week. I mean, last week they got away with the win against the Texans, but Texans aren't really a great team, so they're supposed to win against the Texans, but it didn't look good. The fans were booing them, and they're yelling out the clock. That and their game management, their clock management has just been terrible. They just call timeouts randomly, like their awareness is like on zero. So, and I don't think that'll change this week.
Do we expect anything more from a coach that's coming from the Matt LaFleur tree, bro? I'll give y'all one thing. Quick stat.
Jaguars, when he was the coach, offensive coordinator, they went deep in the playoffs.
Quick stat. Every coach that came from that Niners tree last year went undefeated last weekend. Robert Saleh, Mike McDaniels against Abdi's own boy Lamar Jackson. Mike McDaniels is dealing with a quarterback who's coming to the press conference and saying, "I can't see you. You gotta come see me. I'm too short." And on top of that, he's left-handed. So we got to give a shout out to Kyle Shanahan's academy, man. We're producing top talent over here.
Yeah, it's just a bit odd that Kyle Shanahan can't get the job done, but that's just me.
Don't worry about that. If I beat you twice a year, it's good money.
Yeah, it's good, until you can't get the job done. So we're on the same couch anyways.
But you know what's hilarious? Every playoff and every time the playoffs and Super Bowl come around, you're watching me though. But you have the better quarterback.
And then you end up watching me. You end up on the couch with me. Last year, what happened?
No, but at that point we have to calculate who ran to the couch first. You know, you've been there for like 4 weeks. Like you stink, booty swell all over the couch.
We'll go ahead and move on to our Monday Night Football game. You don't have a doubleheader this week. We have the Dallas Cowboys on the road in New York playing the New York Giants, a division game. Cooper Rush versus Daniel Jones.
This
Jones.
game is a trap game. I'm telling you, this game. I know the Giants are 2-0. I get it, but the Cowboys' defenses look good, and I said that they were going to regress, and they have been phenomenal, if anything. Especially with the circumstance of not having a quarterback. Week 1, they held Tom Brady to 19 points, which holding Tom Brady to that, the Tampa Bay offense has been great, but they held Tom Brady to that. Last week, we saw what they did to Joe Burrow. And so, again, you're going up against Daniel Jones. And, come on, it's Daniel Jones. So I'm going to go with the Cowboys here. I think their defense does a great job. I think Zeke finally has just a good game. I think Zeke or Pollard, at least, one of the two running backs, is going to have a good game. CD's going to get his. And I don't know, this Giants 2-0 is fake. I get it, the Giants, it's been a good story for them. New head coach, new offense. Overall, they've been humming, but again, the last 2 wins haven't been against teams that were particularly great. And I think the Cowboys' defense ends up showing up this game. So I have the Cowboys winning.
I'll tell you one thing. Tripping. I got my boy Daniel Jones. That Giants team. I had a feeling that they were going to be good. I did not have a feeling that they were going to be 2-0 coming into week 3. I'm going to go with Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley and that young wide receiver. I was
Kadarius Toney.
I really like Sterling Shepard. He's kind of found his little play style, where the little slant runs. He's a very, very poor man's Cooper Kupp, but poor man's Cooper Kupp. But I got Daniel Jones. The reason being is that coach, the new Giants head coach, was very brutal with Daniel Jones, and he made it very clear that told him, "Hey, I didn't draft you, and I'm not going to jeopardize me and my family's paycheck for you. So either you're going to get on board or you're going to get the hell out." And since then, Daniel Jones has been kind of putting in, slowing off mediocre games and slowly kind of controlling the game script, which that's all the Giants need. Because once Saquon Barkley's tree trunks get rolling, it's over. This Cowboys, what they did last week was very much a fluke. They will never do that against Joe Burrow again.
You got to put some respect on their defense, though.
Nah. I don't believe it. I don't believe in all that. I don't believe in that. I'll tell y'all right here, right now, they're not making the playoffs. You guys, anybody can take my money in this podcast. They're not making the playoffs.
I think everybody picked them not to make the playoffs again.
I think I had him.
You have him 17?
I did. I haven't been.
Oh, okay. So overall, we're all under the same umbrella when it comes to the Cowboys.
Yeah, majority.
Okay,
yes.
bet. So I'm just saying, this one, I'm taking the Giants. Prime time. It's going to be in New York, right?
Monday night.
I got to figure out who's making these NFL schedules, why the Cowboys always get back-to-back season or opener and the week 2 home games, but they're going to go to.
Man. Come on now.
They're gonna go to the Big Apple, and Saquon Barkley is going to put on a show.
I think the Cowboys,
I give it about a 7 to 10 point game.
I don't think so. I got the Cowboys coming out winning, mainly for the due to their defense, putting the trust in Michael Parsons in that front 7. Giants offense have been not too good. I mean, week 1 Barkley went off, but week 2 they look very, very slow, very lethargic. They weren't moving the ball much. I think Daniel Jones ended the game with 160 yards. Barkley didn't have a fantastic game. So I got my faith in this Cowboys offense. I think Tony Pollard taking a step like that he had last week. He cooked up last week, 98 rush yards and a touchdown. CD had a good game, but I think the defense steps up, controls the game, stops the Giants offense a lot. And the Cowboys grind out this W.
Yeah, this one's pretty much a toss-up for me. But I'll say one thing: the Giants are definitely the worst 2-0 team in football right now. But I just think I'm picking the Cowboys for this one. I'm not too high on Daniel Jones. I said it in previous episodes. I'm just not going to bet on him this week. I'm not trying to lose a point. But the spread right now is the Giants -1. So I think the Cowboys can come away with this one for sure. They just have to rely heavily on Zeke. I know Dalton Schultz, his game time decision, he might be out this week, but they're getting a guy, Michael Gallup, back. And last week, their wide receiver, Noah Brown, looked pretty well. I think he had 95 yards and a touchdown, so he did even better than CeeDee Lamb. So you mix that in with a little bit of Zeke and a little bit of Pollard, I think it's just enough for the Cowboys to grind out this victory. I think, it'll be a close one, maybe by a field goal. but I have the Cowboys winning this one. So now that wraps up our week 3 predictions. I just want to say thank you, Zach, for tuning into today's episode and joining us, and being our very first special.
My pleasure, man.
Any final words before you sign off?
Final words, man. I appreciate you guys for having me on, man. It was good chatting up with you guys. Hopefully we can link up sometime in the middle of the season. The Seahawks will know where they'll be. But the Niners.
Well, that's like his 5th shot against the Seahawks.
Oh, yeah. Hey, man. Kick a guy when he's down.
But the last 8 years, he's been quiet in the playoffs.
Kick a guy when he's down.
They choke, and then he disappears for 6 months, and then comes back.
I show no sympathy. I show no sympathy and empathy to this Seahawks fan. When he beat me twice last year, knowing that he wasn't going to go anywhere, this guy was outside of my house with the parade. So I'm not going to let him slide.
He lost good money on those 2 games, too.
Yes, sir. So I got to get my change back. But I appreciate you guys for having me on, man. Good conversation, good chatting.
Hey, man, we appreciate you for setting up time to come talk to us.
Next time I come back, I don't want to hear all reliable. Y'all gonna see my boy.
Hey, we look forward to hearing from you soon, man.
All right, brothers. Appreciate y'all.
All right, then, man.
Peace.
With that being said, we're just gonna have to close out this episode right here. I know I mentioned in the beginning of this episode we were gonna talk about our rankings of the top duos in the Western Conference, but after rewatching this episode, we decided that it would be best to split it into 2 parts for the sake of time. So the first part being our week 3 NFL predictions, and the second part being the rankings for the top duos in the Western Conference. So don't worry, you get the very first episode on Thursday as usual, but we're having another upload on Friday for the second part. So on behalf of myself and the rest of the crew, we greatly appreciate your love and support. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. We'd greatly appreciate it if you like, commented, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at New Media Podcast. For those of you that are watching us on YouTube, in the beginning of this video will be all of our social media handles. But if you're listening to us on Apple and Spotify, if you go to our Instagram page at New Media Podcast, you'll be able to navigate yourself to all of our social media handles there. So thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. And as always, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Record a new hit, then we making us a film. Wouldn't sign a deal if I got a couple mil. Been in the lab, now they throwing out deals. Me and now Lakes, now that's overkill.